Hello everyone, my name is Knial Piper. I have written a story which I am about to read to you. It is called An Outlaw's Tale of Western Justice and Eastern Vengeance. The music is composed and written by Ennio Morricone. It is called La Arena, and this story is a story of triumph in the desert. The sun's rays were hot. The sand was hotter. A single 10-gallon hat cast shade over the man's weathered face, as a warm air breeze slid across the dunes and through his sweat-drenched hair. In the hands he held a weapon they said he could never use again. In his thoughts he held desire they had tried to depress. In his heart he carried a flame they had tried to extinguish. He traveled from across the desert carrying these things on his back like some unsettling weight upon his shoulders, ever lifting him from his knees, yet longing to drag him down on buckling joints. Behind him he left a trail of betrayers, face down in the sand. Somewhere at the beginning of his journey was everything he had loved. He understood the road would be hard. Mother Nature had been relentless, and so had these men. These men were the bodies that beat him severely for hours as he contested their lives. These men took from him his treasures. These men stole from him his family. These men gave his hard-beaten path a hard walk. The last of these men sat around a growing campfire on the outskirts of town. These youthful rebels were not men to the lonesome soldier on the top of the high dune. These men were cowards, rebels thrown from duty and guided by hate and foolish ambitions. The dignity they stole and sheltered lives they burned were his. He held his vengeance in his gut. His hand sought to tremble, but his hate would not allow it. Under his poncho, swaying in the wind, there came a glimpse of yet another pistol. A pistol not held under stern, trigger-ready hand, but holstered and loaded. The hot sun cast a ray that caught the smooth steel. A beam of light hit the men below. One coward noticed the beam. With a hand to his forehead, he squinted upward at the man on the hill. Standing on the worn and melted soles of his leather boots, the man on the hill gave no sign of emotion. He stood like some devilish angel, about to cast judgment on the souls of the wretched who had betrayed him. The men knew they had done him wrong. They knew who stood before them, yet they only saw the dark figure standing still and alone atop the dune. Their hands were stained in the blood of his kin, yet they were covered in the food they had for the recent meal. Their weapons of massacre lay feet from their seats, and their thoughts rested on surprise, the kind of surprise a man suffers when he comes to realize the problems he thought finished have resurrected to end all problems. There was a moment of long, tense tranquility. The long journey traveled played a song of justice and triumph. A vulture waited in the sky. The coward's squinted eyes grew wide as he understood what was about to happen. A hot ray of light crept up behind the shadow of a man. A gun was raised, and the desert will tell the rest.